Gotta get your brain right if you're trying to make $1 million. If you ain't gonna do it for yourself, then do it for your mama. Only stay surrounded by them people if you know they solid. Elevate your hustle up today to double up your profit. Trying to learn some game, Xavier gon' talk about it. No Deanna, speak that shit that everybody vouching. Ain't no more excuses valid. Get up off the couch and get up in your bag. To your bank account, need an accountant.
Yo, welcome back to the greatest show on earth, the Millionaire Mindsets Podcast. I am your host, Xavier, and today I got a special one, a very special one for y'all. I got my guys, they going so crazy right now online in business doing their thing. So I'm super excited to have them here. I got Kway and Jehu here to represent. So what's good, y'all? What's good?
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us, man. It's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to have y'all here. Now I got so much I want to get into with y'all, man. I know the audience is gonna love it. But before we start the show, I gotta go into our first sponsor really quick.
So I've been in the apartment game for about 5 years now, and I had a tenant during COVID when fortunately I had to evict him because he wasn't paying his rent. But I didn't want to leave him out there hanging, so I said, what I'm gonna do for you, I'm gonna pay to put your belongings in the storage unit for 90 days. And I looked everywhere in my city, we couldn't find no storage units that was available. So I said, listen, I never want to have this problem again. Instead, if I can't buy the unit, I want to go buy the facility. I purchased my first facility. So I want y'all to understand is the power of ownership, and you can get in the game just like me. So I'm gonna give you some steps on how you can go out there and start. You want to go to bizbuysell.com, and you can find a bunch of motivated self-storage facility owners that's looking to sell to people just like you. Then you want to go and get the SBA 7A loan, and they'll finance you up to 90%. And you put that together and you go out there and you can acquire your first self-storage facility, and now you be an owner in the game just like that with no money, man. So take advantage of this opportunity, get the game, tap into my training, and learn how to go out there and master these strategies just like that. Let's get it.
So let's get straight to it, man. So for the people who just maybe they first time seeing y'all, they've been stuck under a rock, they ain't been paying attention. Give us some background real quick. Let them know who y'all are.
Yeah, for sure, man. My name is Jehu. I was born and raised in West Africa, man. I came out here for just like any other immigrant for better opportunities, better education. Went through the entire school system, you know what I'm saying, learned, ended up studying science and mathematics, bio major. And yeah, just did that route, got out of school, got into property management, decided not to go really deep into the science side and everything of that nature. But eventually I was able to link with my business partner, Francis. What I realized going through the school system is I never learned anything about finances or anything that had to do with wealth generation, which was very strange to me, coming from a different country. We have different, educational systems and stuff like that. So I just thought that was such a culture shock. But Francis really impacted in me, when it comes to financial markets, exactly what it means to be able to learn a skill set to generate more and more and more income. Essentially unlimited income, if you think about it, really. But yeah, I put that into practice, was able to quit my 9-to-5, property management. From there, it's just been one thing after the other, man. It's just been up. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, it's a little bit about me.
It's been quite a ride, I'll tell you that much, man.
Hell of a ride.
Yeah, I mean, so like Jay said, we met, a few years ago. It just started really organically. My dad introduced me to stocks at a young age. I was about 13 years old. Yeah, I was in trouble. Jay was a good kid. I was kind of the opposite end, always in trouble. Your typical statistic, right? You know what I'm saying? Got locked up at 18, did 3 years in prison, came home at 21, had a child on the way shortly after, a year later. And with no job, no skill set, no credentials, anything like that, I had to find a way to make a living, right? And so, I kind of started to fall back into the stock things. I remember, learning it with my dad and practicing in high school, just me and my friends, just like buying little weed penny stocks and stuff like that. Right. Mm-hmm. We'd take weed money and then put it in the weed penny stocks and try to flip it. Yeah. And so when I came home, it was like, all right, I got to do something, right? So, I was making like $7 an hour, doing like day laborer jobs out there. Construction, got a little construction job, doing electrical apprentice stuff at one point. But I was only making like $300-something a week. Mm-hmm. And so I took, my student refund checks, my girl's student refund check, put it together for $4,000 and started trading, you know what I mean? And that was how I started to really get in. But the thing was, I learned from, at that time there was a brokerage called Scott Trade. right? And for, some people may remember,
I remember.
Scott Trade used to have little physical locations you could go into, and they had whole workshops in the physical spaces. So after I get off of work at 3, I go into those spaces. I'll be the youngest, the only minority in there, right? Trying to learn technical analysis. And the day I learned technical analysis, or just got introduced to technical analysis, I could really, I could actually figure out when a stock might be going up or when a stock might be going down. It was over. So,
man.
Long story
Game
short, we
changer.
just, we put that together, created a community, started teaching people, you know what I mean? And that just was history.
Those Scott Trade classes, them was free.
Yeah, bro, it was
That's
free
crazy.
classes,
Crazy.
bro.
I never knew that.
Man, listen,
Yeah.
they used to have like the little overhead projectors, you know what I'm saying? And they have different sheets on there and different worksheets and stuff like that. And I was like, yo, this is...
That's crazy. How you
Hell
found
of
out
a
about that?
resource.
It was my brokerage account.
Okay,
So
brokerage,
I opened a brokerage account, and then they had a little spot called the Knowledge Center. I click on that, and it would say come to a local workshop, because they had, it was almost like a franchise. They had locations everywhere.
Right.
So I found a local one and started going. And then from there, it wasn't like now. This was 2013.
Right,
It wasn't as much YouTube. And, you know what I mean? So I think the only person I really saw online like that doing stocks was
I think I know you about to say.
Yeah,
I know you about to say.
Tim Sykes.
Tim Sykes.
Yeah, everybody done seen that.
I know
man.
you
It's
was gonna
crazy.
say. Yeah. His people hit us up like a while back.
Yeah.
About coming on the show. Yeah,
sure.
Man. He's a goat in the space, whether
Like,
for better or worse.
Tim Sykes. I
He
knew he was
really,
gonna say it.
I know, man. He really was running.
Yeah, he was.
That, man. Penny
He ran the play.
He was the
Yeah,
first
he ran the play. Yeah.
social influencer regarding that space
Oh
right
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Easily, without a doubt.
Yeah. But talk about because something I think that's very interesting. You said your father introduced you to it at 13. So what was his like background? Because I know a lot of us. I know my parents. They didn't really tell me about stocks as a child. None of my
Facts.
friends' parents told them about stocks. So like, where that start from?
So it's interesting because my dad is an interesting dude, man. He's a software developer. He does software. He wasn't really good at stock trading, right? He used to, just do it more as like a gambler. So the same way we teach people that now, like not to trade, was like how he was trading back then, right?
So he's seen it
he was just
firsthand.
like, back in the day, see, man, I'm telling you, man, this space has evolved so much. Back in the day, they used to send like almost like brochures to your house about different penny stocks that could be the next big thing, right? And so, we get those things, and they'd be like, yeah, this company just found a cure for cancer, and it's only
like
3
the
cents.
Wolf of Wall Street
and it's
strategy.
gonna go exactly, and it's gonna go to $25, this and the third. So he'd be pretty much buying
his
those.
money
Things.
in.
Yeah,
Right,
he'd do
right.
stuff like that, and but. I'm watching him. He also bought like companies like MicroStrategy back then because he was in his space.
Right.
And so, I'm home from school. I got suspended from school for like, the rest of the year, right? I was home. It was like halfway through the year, so I was home for like 3-4 months. And so I'm just, one day I just came into the room. He used to give me homework assignments while I was home because he worked from home. And I go in there and then, I'm getting my homework, but he's looking at his stocks. And so I start asking questions and he started introducing it to me. And he was like, oh, yeah, you need to start practicing. So he set up a little practice account. And I started doing that. So my first time really trading was my first real trade was on gold. I bought gold at like $300 and started trying to trade that. But before that, my little test account, I bought this.
What's it, diamond?
So I tried to find like the most expensive thing I could think of, and at the time it was like Diamond. So I found this company called Diamond. It was literally a cigar company. Somebody had no idea. It was a cigar penny stock company. The shit went out of business like 6 months later. Lost all the money. You know what I mean? So
Damn,
Man, that's a rough start.
first lesson. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So talk about like starting the company together and like pretty much explain what the company is. Also for the people that's listening, like what company do they have?
For sure. So Cheat Code is pretty much right now we focus on building, financial tools, investing tools like our trading software, the Cheat Code Algo. Also right now, the way the company started, it was super organic, man. I mean, we started with just a group of friends. Like, Francis taught me, I always tell people I was the first student of our entire company. Like, now we have over 18,000 people, et cetera.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I was the first, like, student of our company. So, like, once I got the information, I put it to practice. That joint, like, you know what I'm saying? It really changed my life. I was like, yo, we got to teach more people this. And literally force this guy, because he doesn't like being in front of people teaching and stuff like that.
You know?
I was like, yo, I put him in a group chat. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, you got to teach these guys. And whoever wanted to learn, I mean, everybody started listening. People's lives literally started changing. People started quitting jobs in the group chat. And the group chat literally outgrew Instagram. of course, we had to find a different place to go, and we ended up on Discord.
Discord, yeah.
And then started from 100 to 200 to 500,000, and it just went crazy from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we pretty much built the cheat code algo right now. It just works. It's pretty much a technical analysis tool that works for all markets: stocks, forex, futures, crypto. It doesn't matter. If it has a chart, you can put the cheat code on there and pretty much use it as a trade and management system.
Helps you know when to get in and when to get out. I mean, a lot of people.
Right.
A lot of people, especially right now, right? You know, people have lost a lot of money in the market because they were in a space, they didn't understand how market cycles work, right? You know, market cycles, there's times where the economy has certain characteristics to it, like low interest rates, that is a boost for the market, and the market goes up significantly. Those are great times for people. Anybody can come in and make money during a bull market. And when economic conditions change, that changes. And a lot of people this year, got caught in the cycle where, you know, the economic conditions started changing, interest rates started rising, other factors start going south, and the market starts to come down, right? And so a lot of people were still trading and investing off of the hope that they had during the bull market.
Right.
And so what the cheat code does is it basically tells you, like, when is the time that those shifts start to happen? When is the time that you know, we're now in the sell phase, you need to start exiting your positions? Where is a good time to take profit? Where's a good time to enter into a trade or into a market, long term or short term? So that's pretty much what it does.
So what do y'all think is the with that being said, what's the keys to becoming a great trader? Is it just time trading? Is it what is it?
Yeah, man. I'd say emotional. One of the things that I found, emotional management, emotional intelligence, is one of the most overlooked things, because even though, like, you can hit one trade and be like, oh, I'm the greatest trader in the world, right? You hit, like, you know, your first, like, maybe $1,000 a day, even $500 a day. You're like, yo, if I could make $500 every day for 30 days, like, you know what I'm saying? That's a significant amount of money. So it's like emotional intelligence, knowing that, like, you know, even after you make a lot of money, you usually get into a period of, like, you know, it's almost like euphoria in a certain way, right? You get overzealous and you're like, oh, yo, let me go ahead and put more money in. I'm gonna get more money out. And at that point, you're not making decisions that are educational decisions. You're just making decisions and guessing and hoping for, you know, upside. But emotional intelligence, being able to understand and recognize, hey, if I've won X amount of money in the market, or I've came out with X amount of yield from the market, being able to be like, all right, since I've won this much, let me take a step back, reassess, know exactly where I am in my, you know, process, and then attack the market from a more technical
and know when to cut your losses. Right, a lot of people don't know when to cut losses. They just want to hope that the market's going to come back. They're like, I'm not looking at my portfolio. I'm just going to, like, no, you need these times where you need to cut your losses early, keep your losses minimal, and then keep your gains, you know, on the larger side as much as you can, right? And then the other thing I'll say is, like, there's three main characteristics, or three main skill sets that anybody needs to master if they want to make money in the market, right? The first one is understanding market knowledge, right? And what that means is basically understanding what are the sectors that make up the market. How does the market work? What economic factors impact the market? How does the market cycle work? How does market psychology work, right? These are things that doesn't take a lot of time to really understand and master. You just have to put effort into it, right? And once you understand those things, it'll give you a large picture view of how, you know, where you need to be moving your money, because that's how big money plays, right? Institutions, the top 1%, that's how they play. And then fundamental analysis is knowing what company to buy. What is a good company? What is a good quality company? Do they have a lot of debt? Do they have a lot of revenue, right? How good are they at managing their resources? How good are they? Is their profit margin growing consistently? Is their sector growing, you know, consistently? And then the third thing would be technical analysis, which is knowing when to buy, right? So fundamentals is knowing what to buy. Technicals is knowing when to buy it, because you can buy the right company at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? And still lose money. And so technicals is basically understanding how the chart works. And all the chart is basically just market psychology, you know, manifested on a physical chart, right? When the market overall, it feels positive about a stock, it'll start to trend up. When it feels negative, it'll start to trend down. Your job as a understand the technicals, is just to know when is the market psychology changing, so you can change your position as well. You see what I'm saying?
That's the super bars. But I want to ask you this, because you talk about cutting losses, and I feel like this is a question that people always ask when it comes to stocks. How do you know when it's time to cut a loss with a stock because, like you said, if it's a company that's perceived as good, you like, oh, it's gonna come back around. It's gonna go back up.
Right.
So how do you even know, like, all right, this time I gotta let this go?
First and foremost, you need a trading plan. You gotta have a plan before you even go
before you even buy.
Right? You need to know, okay, if this stock past this point, this is my cutoff point. I'm gonna get back in later, right? And that's where technical analysis comes into play because it's not just knowing when to buy; it's also knowing when to sell. So there's certain levels on a stock chart that'll tell you, hey, this is a good time to get out of a stock, right? Because once it breaks this level, the market psychology has broken, and the market no longer feels that it's a company to go higher.
Right.
And so it's time to get out so you avoid more losses, right? And then the second thing is obviously get the cheat code, man.
Definitely get the cheat
literally
code.
look at the chart right there. And this is just the base level, right? Like it doesn't really show everything with it, but you see how like at the top over there, right before it turns red, you see like at S, that's the S up there,
right there. Yep.
You see you get the yellow candle right beforehand. So that yellow candle basically tells you it's time to slow down with this trade, right?
That's what we call the caution candle.
Exactly. So like that's giving you an early warning symbol, right? And then right after that, you get the sell signal. So when you get that sell signal and that candle turns red, that's when you would have caught your loss. So if you got in at the bottom down there, right, where it says buy and the candle starts turning green, right?
The B right there,
You be riding it all the way up, right? And then you get the yellow candle says, hey, it's slow down a little bit, but you can still stay in on the yellow candles. It's telling you slow down, just like a traffic light, right? But then you get the red sell signal. The sell signal says, hey, it's time to get out.
Right.
And then now it starts trending down. Now the way this screenshot is showing right now is, when you get a sell signal, you can also make money on the stocks going down.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you get a sell signal, a lot of times if everything lines up for the negative, right, you can also take a put position or bet against the stock. And then you see those lines right there.
Yeah.
Those are take profit lines right to the right.
SL, the entry, the TP1.
Right. So those TP1, TP2, those are take profit points. So at each one of those levels, you take a little bit of profit off of the table. So if you're shorted at the sell signal, you see what I'm saying?
So
and it works both directions.
It literally is like a GPS for the market. It helps you know exactly when to get out and how to get out. You can scale out of your position, you know what I'm saying, just so you can capitalize on the upside or the downside.
And looking at it, I'm noticing is several yellow lines. So it's basically like several warnings.
Exactly.
So my question, I'm trying to think of how to word this. Is it like a certain number of warnings? Because usually you might get warned once.
I was gonna say, so you'll have the trade manager, like right now, although it's at the end just because of the screenshot, but while you're actually in the trade manager is a moving target. So it actually walks you through the trade. So wherever you might have that yellow caution candle, it depends. If you get a sell signal, you completely get out of the trade. But if you get a yellow caution candle,
it says be on warning.
Be on warning. Know that the next candles might be a decision maker for you to completely either get out of the market or stay in the market or take some profit off the table. So you always have the trade manager right there live while you're trading with it, just to know exactly when to do that.
Yeah, and then also there's two other indicators that's not on this screenshot that come along with it. It's a full system, but for some reason, it's the only screenshot that we have right there. But the other two will give you, early warnings as well. So once you line it up and those two start to trend different, then you really want to start taking heed to what it's telling you.
Yeah, we got like a whole strategy and a system for it that, we teach. It's like our learning center. After you purchase the cheat code algo, it'll tell you exactly how the strategy works. But they all work together.
Man,
man.
That's heavy, bro. All I can say to people, especially if you not watching it on YouTube, if you listening, make sure you definitely, because you probably listening like, hold on, I can't see what they talking about. Make sure you tap into the YouTube so you can see them exactly break this down live, because that's some that's valuable information. We never had nobody break it down like that on the show, so I'm glad y'all definitely did that, man. For sure. Definitely. And let me. I want to ask y'all this regarding trading, because I love asking trader this. Because this is being real, this is the shit that people want to know. So if y'all mind sharing it, y'all don't mind sharing, we good. So what is y'all biggest trade that y'all made and worst trade? Because I like to do the good and the bad.
So you want to go start? Go
ahead. I'll say my worst trade. I'll start with the worst trade. I lost $17,000 in a day. This was when I was still working my 9 to 5. I was trading. I was thinking, damn, like I could still work my 9 to 5 and trade at the same time, which you can do, but I was not practicing the right trading system or the right trading style at the time. I was trying to scalp, which scalping for a lot of people that are the listeners. Scalping is a way for you to get in and out of the trade very fast. Sometimes seconds, sometimes a few minutes, you know what I'm saying? But day trading is being able to get in and out of that trade in the same day, right? So I was scalping at the time and not paying attention to my position. I went to go grab a file because I was in property management. Went to go grab a file for, you know, one of the tenants out there, and next thing I know, I look at my phone and I'm down $17,000. And this was during the times where Trump was president, so anything he says,
everything,
high volatility in the market, you know what I'm saying? So that was one of the worst trades. But after then, I was like, damn, at work, I'm losing more money than actually even making money at work. You know what I'm saying? So that actually led me into quitting my job, which was the best
He quit his
decision
job
I had
that
made.
night, man. We went out to dinner with our people.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, man, I'm texting, send a text.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not coming back.
Yeah. My biggest gain in the market was $40,000 in a day. Yeah. So, you know, anything, and this is crazy because I never would have imagined that's even possible. You know what I'm saying? Like in the realm. So for people that are listening, this is really, truly a mental barrier that you have to break. This skill set, really, you can get to that point if you put in the work. You know what I'm saying? 6 months to 12 months of really engulfing yourself in this information could change your entire trajectory and your generation's trajectory.
What was the trade?
I think it was actually Apple calls. During, I think I got, at that time, it's crazy. Our man, Apple and Boeing, we made so much money off of Boeing, especially during the pandemic. It was insane, literally. That was what actually changed our group's trajectory from Instagram to Discord, and like everybody like put in the jobs, like whole community went nuts.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What about you, Kway?
Yeah.
My biggest trade was it was on a put option on Moderna. It was very similar to that setup on up there. It got a yellow candle, except it was outside of the reversal bands, which means it's time for it to come back down.
Yeah.
And basically, I took a put position with about either $20,000 or $30,000, and I did $145,000 in that one day.
Yeah.
Right. I took the put the night before.
Yeah. Jackpot, let's get it.
The next day that thing came straight down. I think it was one single bar that just dropped like $15, $20 on Moderna. So did $140,000 on that one. My biggest loss though was over $200,000 in a night. Right, and that was in 2018 during the crypto pullback, right? So during crypto, man, I did 5,000 to 220. Yeah. Started with $5,000, flipped it to 220,000 over about 6 months of the crypto bull market, trading on leverage, right? 3x, 5x leverage, and then one night, China came out with some news that they were gonna, ban crypto or something along those lines, and I was in XRP. I was deep. I went all in on it too. My dumb ass. I was over here just over leveraged, and this is one of the key things because at the time I was young. I was bullheaded. I thought I was, and this is where we talk about emotional management, right?
Exactly.
You get overly greedy. I'm thinking like, damn, I done got 200-something thousand. I'm about to go for $1 million, right? It's gonna keep going up. And then, so I'm all in pretty much. I had no risk management, nothing, no position sizing, any of that stuff. I was just gambling pretty much, all in on what I was on. And literally one night, and I was all in on leverage. So the moment that thing dropped, it wiped out everything. I didn't know. It's 2 a.m. I was taking a shower, setting my alarm clock at that time because China and Korea, they typically will like crash the market overnight a lot of times back then. Because they're up while we're asleep. Yeah. So I used to stay up, to see how the market was going to do. Yeah. And get out the shower, close my eyes for a little bit, wake up at 5, check my account down to $30,000. You know what I'm saying? In one single night, and I was sick. I was devastated. Literally, that was like one of the like trigger points, or like I guess the blows. What started causing a snowball effect. Because I lost all that money. Then I had 5 real estate projects I was doing at the time. Those started going south, and I basically lost everything. Went back to zero, and had to rebuild everything from scratch. You know what I mean? No job, no career, none of that stuff. So,
mind you, with all these losses, we didn't have the cheat code algo.
Right.
Just to emphasize on that. During the wins that we did. So
No, that's the point. Because I love talking about both sides. Because I don't want
100%.
People, you know what I'm saying? I don't want people thinking it's all bad, but I don't want people to think it's all
great.
gravy.
It
ain't sweet at all.
You got to put in the work, man.
And it's all about, and that's why we try to start with letting people know, like, listen, you have to know how to cut your losses. Right. I remember I was listening to, I think it was E.T., the hip hop preacher, right? And he was talking about how in the military, when you go to like a boot camp or whatever, a lot of people think the first thing they teach you is how to shoot somebody. But really the first thing they teach you is how to deal with your gun jamming or get into a situation like that, and how to carry a dead body, how to carry somebody who's wounded or injured, because those are the things that you don't prepare for, right? So they prepare you for that first. And so it's the same thing with trading is you need to know how not to lose money before you start focusing on how to make money.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? But so many people just
and speaking of emotional management, I remember when I went to boot camp, I'll never forget this shit.
Oh yeah.
They pull up, it's dark outside. You pull up in the it's like a school bus.
Yeah.
All us in the school bus is completely dark, pitch black.
Man, yeah.
You can't see nothing. You like, where we at? Somebody walk on the bus. He ain't even yelling yet. He just he walk on the bus calm. He said, y'all got 60 seconds to get off the bus and just walk out. So everybody look at each other. There's 50, 60 people on the bus. Everybody's trying to figure out how to get out. As soon as you get out,
you get
pressure.
jammed up. Yeah,
they own you. They screaming at you in your face, cussing you out, going ham. Some people can't take it. All the pressure is like, is you gonna have your emotions in check or are you gonna fold?
Right.
Some people start crying. They start doing all kinds of shit. You got to be like the poker face. Like, don't
that's
bother.
it. I'm here already. Yeah,
that's exactly how the market is, bro.
Yeah, facts.
Like you gotta have that poker face. You make of 200,000, make 50,000. You gotta have that same face. Don't try to get overly happy and excited and greedy. You lose all that money. Same thing. You gotta be very, very systematic, like a robot almost.
Yeah, man. That's what we actually tell people. There's no magic pill. You know what I'm saying? The idea is that, like, even if you're, for example, UFC fighters, right? Like, or any fighters for that matter. If you have a samurai, for example, a samurai trains and are able to be dangerous, right? However, the samurai always make sure that they have the best tool, they have the best sword, right? And that sword is what we describe as the cheat code algo. Even coming into the market, you have to be that samurai. You have to make sure as a person you're trained yourself. You understand the basics that, are fundamentals and the foundation of who you are as a trader and an investor. But you always, of course, after that, you always make sure you have the best tools, like the, cheat code algo, indicator sets, systems, and things like that. That essentially drives your, success to a different level. You know what I'm saying? So 100%.
And let me ask y'all this for somebody that's listening that's not too familiar with trading and they're not really knowing what's going on like that. They might get it confused with gambling. Break it down on what's the difference between trading and gambling.
I mean, so it's I think there's a lot of similarities, right?
Definitely.
And people, we hear this a lot. When you look at somebody who plays poker, right? Poker is considered gambling. But there are skilled poker players who can sit at any table and will likely come up and win, right? Because it's a skill-based system, a skill-based game.
That's right.
It's very similar with trading. With gambling, there's risk involved. With trading, there's risk involved, right? How you manage that risk is what makes it the difference between gambling and skill. You know what I'm saying? Sitting at the roulette table is gambling. Sitting at the slot machine is gambling. Right. It's not that type of gambling, right? This is calculated risk.
Right.
All we're doing is saying, okay, because this is the thing people understand, you got to understand about trading or investing. All we're doing is clicking buttons. Right? You click the right button at the right time, you make money. You click the wrong button at the wrong time, you lose money. Right? And so all we're doing is trying to increase our odds that the button that we click is the right button at the right time. And so that is a game of skill, right? You have to understand. And then also with poker, same thing. The successful poker players, there's one common trait amongst all of them is they know when to fold. Right, knowing when to fold is the main thing, and it's the same thing with trading. Knowing when to cut your losses is how you're gonna be successful, because you could have 10 trades, and 8 of them could be successful. You make 10% on each one. That's great, right? You're up 80%. But if you lose 40% on 2 trades or 50% on 2 trades, you out. Right? Yeah. Now on the flip side of that, you can lose 8 trades, but if you lose 8 trades, you're cutting your losses at 5% each. You're down 40%.
Right.
But if the 2 that you are successful on, you hit 100%, 50%, 60% gains, you're up significantly, right? And so it's the same thing. It's all about your success in trading or in investing is going to be how good are you at managing your capital, managing your risk. And that's the skill set that Jay's talking about, being a samurai, sharpening your skill set, knowing how to manage your risk. You know what I mean?
Game of probabilities, man. Yeah.
Man, that's heavy. Just because I know a lot of people, they'll get into this and they won't do their due diligence. They won't do their homework. They won't try to join anybody's Discord. They won't go on YouTube. They're just like, man, I'm going to figure this shit out. Right. You know, they losing. I want to ask y'all this though because I remember I posted a video. Shout out to Terry. She talked about trading. She made $1 million in a day, and somebody commented. They said, "Well, I wonder what she's doing now in this market."
Right.
So I'm like, I want to ask y'all because I feel like I know a lot of people. They was like, "Man, I was winning in the market 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022." Talk about
it was easy. Yeah.
Is it easier? Is it harder now to win in the market? Is it like what's the temperature?
It requires more skill, right? It requires more skill to navigate, and so that's where having a strong community, regardless of what community you in, whether it's our community or other communities, you got to make sure you're in a community that understands how to navigate those type of waters. And so right now, because the market is so much more volatile, you have to really be comfortable taking put positions, right? And being able to take positions and identify bearish setups, right? You need to be, and when I say bearish setups, what I mean is setups that have increase your probability of the stock going down, right? And so it is more difficult because last year and the year before last, everything was going up.
Right.
Now everything is going down, which is also a good thing
if you understand.
If you know how to do it. So people still make a lot of money. Right now we're actually doing a 10K challenge in our community. We're taking $1,000 to trade it into $10,000 in this market and having everybody do it along with us live on the trading floor. Our team we have an amazing team, 12 amazing traders that they're going to be doing that live basically with everybody and also teaching along with the process. So showing you how they're doing it and how to navigate it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's heavy.
Yeah, what I was gonna say was in this market, right? A lot of people, it's a psychological thing being able to make money on the downside. People are just so used to only making money on the upside. It's like when you're taking a put, they almost feel like it's not right. It's just not normal, right? To make money on the market going downside. It's something that, even when I started trading, I had to get used to. Because it's like you're always used to getting calls or buying shares, like you're hoping for it to go up. But the same mentality, like Kway said, you can make just as much money on the upside as you will, or more on the downside, because the stocks take the stairway up and take the elevator down. So when they're coming down, the momentum is usually much greater. So it's much
funny enough, that's my biggest trade was on a downside trade.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? As far as a single day trade, because it comes down so fast. And with options, it's not just the price of the stock that impacts the price of the option, the value of the option. It's also the volatility, the rate at which the price changed. If it drops significantly, the value of your options contract is likely to be more valuable because of the volatility. So higher volatility times, you make a lot more money. So there's a lot more money to be made in taking puts and bearish positions. You just have to, like Jay said, get comfortable with the idea. You know what I mean? So and on top of that, bro, I want to say too is that so many people are only focused on stocks and options.
That is true.
There's three other trading asset classes that is available to you once you understand technicals. You got Forex, futures, and crypto. Those are all still amazing places to make money, right? Forex market has been a banger this year because the U.S. dollar has been on a tearaway. And, there's been so much money to be made in the Forex market. That's trading currencies against each other, different countries' currencies. For all the people out there who may be wondering what that is, it's not network marketing.
Right.
That's not what Forex is.
Got to clarify that.
Break that down. Break that down for a second.
Because some companies have messed that up. We got to clear that up.
So there's four types of trading asset classes, right? You got stocks, Forex, futures, and crypto. Stocks is publicly traded companies, United States-based company, Apple, Tesla, et cetera, et cetera. You're buying ownership in those companies. Forex is when you are trading one country's currency against another country's currency. So the same way you would go from here to, let's say, London, and you have to exchange your U.S. dollars for the euro, there's an exchange rate there, right? And those exchange rates fluctuate from day to day. And so in Forex, we're just trading those currencies against one another to make money, right? Futures trading is commodities. Commodities, when I say commodities, I'm talking oil, corn, wheat, gas. How many times have you heard of somebody making money from the price of gas going up? Right? We all know inflation is kicking ass and everything's getting more expensive, right? The grocery store food is getting more expensive and things of that nature, but you're not making any money from that. But you can actually make money from those commodities increasing the prices and decreasing the prices in the futures market. So we teach that. And then crypto is, obviously the future of money, Web3, blockchain. This is the direction that money is going. Our financial system is going, decentralized finance and technologies. So you have to understand that. So once you understand these four asset classes and how to trade them and make money from them, from sitting on your phone or your laptop, the whole world becomes available to you. It's not just the stock market, you know what I mean? And they all have different time frames. You could trade the other three damn near around the clock.
Oh yeah, around the 24 hours. Yeah.
So
that's the one thing. That's what got me in crypto. But that's the beauty and the crazy shit.
Yeah.
You can take a nap.
yeah, 3 in the morning, lose that money. Yeah,
Money's called.
Your shit going.
Yeah.
But I like something you say. You completely right. Like MLMs. I've never traded Forex and never done anything with Forex. But I understand what it is, and I know MLMs did a huge disservice with that industry.
Massive stampede on, especially for our culture. You know, for a lot of minorities, like getting introduced to the financial markets is something that's, generational change. So something like that coming in and like really burning people and putting a bad taste in people's mouths. Like somebody could be like, oh, you know what? Just because of that, I quit. I ain't trying to touch anything to do with the financial.
They hit a word and they
you
like,
know what?
Right.
But on a positive note, though, I will say, and I'll never disclaim, I've never done any type of Forex, any of that network marketing type stuff. But as far as the network marketing side, but I will say that the amount of people that got introduced to trading and Forex and in general through it has been a blessing, because 4 or 5 years ago when I was trading, I ain't seen nobody that looked like us doing it like that. You know what I mean? And to see so many people to be like, oh, I was in such and such academy, network marketing, and but they know how to trade to some degree. So that part I'm at least thankful for. But like you said, the network marketing side has always left a bad taste in our community's mouth when it comes to that. From
100%.
5 links to all the different.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, bro.
So definitely don't give up, though. If you're out there, you're listening, there is actually like a real way to make money out of these asset classes, and the trading part and the focusing on the how to make money with the asset class and use it as an instrument for wealth is actually real. So definitely don't give up. If you're out there, you already gave up. Reignite that flame, man. Get the education first. Stick with it. And you know what I'm saying? Get to it, man, because it can change your kid's life, your kid's life, etc.
I want to ask y'all this, because I know this is something. I know y'all heard this before. I feel like everybody that heard this is when people say, man, the stock market is a scam. It's all manipulated. Like what is y'all thoughts on that?
Yeah, man.
You know, they're right and wrong, right? The stock market it does have a lot of rigged components to it, right? But you have to know how to play it.
Right.
You know,
it's like a game.
To your benefit, because guess what? In any market, there's always a winner and a loser.
Right.
And so the losers are always going to say it's a scam because it's rigged, and it's true. But if you learn how the winners play the game and you start to, master that, you're no longer going to think that. And that's what I try to preach as much as I can, because, last year, there was so many people who were just focused on one sector, like tech. Everybody was tech, right? And market conditions change. And when you learn how, the winners in the space, take for example, early last year or early this year, most of the tech CEOs were doing what?
They was resigning
like a mug,
getting up out of there.
They were getting up out of there, and they were selling shares like a mug,
Record rate,
Tesla was selling shares. All types of companies were selling shares, right? And Jack Dorsey left and went to Africa, left everything.
Yeah.
So if you were paying attention, big money had already cashed out their chips earlier this year, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
Meanwhile, so many people online and people in general, retail investors are still buying up tech. They're buying Tesla shares as Elon Musk is selling them, right? And cashing out. So it's like, if you follow how the winners in the space, quote unquote, move, you can position yourself a lot better, because what they knew was the economic climate is changing. Right. You look around you, even in real estate, low interest rates cause what? So many construction projects to go on. It's like, it's not even funny. People building houses, apartments, and things of that nature like crazy because interest rates were low. Money was cheaper. Right. That type of stuff starts to shift, and you start to watch the game board change. So if you understand how to move with the game board, you need to start getting out of tech at that time and start moving into things like consumers, non-cyclicals, things that people need, energy companies, things that are always going to be in value and stuff like that. Warren Buffett, 2 years ago, bought up Barrick Gold Company, one of the largest gold producers in the world. He bought a natural gas pipeline from Dominion Energy, right? These are things that he's situating because he's like
getting ready.
He owns this plaza.
He owns this plaza? Hey,
man.
What?
That's crazy.
There you go. This is a new, you know what I'm saying, joint.
Yeah.
So again, when interest rates was low, he was building this stuff.
Yeah,
and
man.
so you see what I'm saying? So you got to really pay attention to that.
Yeah.
and start to move accordingly. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And like, you know, anybody that says the stock market is a scam is just like, you think about it like Little League, right? Or like even baseball. There's ways to steal bases, right? There, if you could choose not to steal the base, but you have a higher chance of winning if you steal base, right? So a lot of people get into the game not doing that, right? Because if you watch somebody that's successful at baseball, they're stealing bases, they're doing something specific that's increasing their odds of becoming a higher or a better baseball player. If you're playing basketball, it's like knowing that if the ball goes out of bounds, you can't score out of bounds, right? But everybody's out there that's saying stock market's a scam is trying to score out of bounds, where it's like, yo, there's a game that's played within these fine lines, and if you just follow the rules of the game, you will be successful. But people always want an easy way out. That's the truth. That's true. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't put in the work, you're just not gonna get to where you need to be. Just play the game by the rules.
And I'll also say that, you know, the market is manipulated very strong.
100%.
Right? The you know, big money. We saw that during the time where GameStop and all that stuff was happening, where they were trying to put a hold on what GameStop was doing. They had Robinhood holding accounts. They had all types of stuff, right? But big money, institutional hedge funds and things of that nature, they used, that was the whole point of why they did what they did with GameStop, because they were trying to pay back the manipulation that hedge funds have been doing for all this time. But hedge funds utilize tools, institutional level tools, to make sure they can outpace you. Right? And that was the whole motivation of us developing the tools, and that was our core mission. We want to develop tools and resources for the average person to also get an advantage. That's where the name cheat code came from. It's like the game is rigged, but you also want to have your cheat code. You know what I'm saying? Cheat code to it, so that way you can have. And we're going to continue to develop more and more tools that'll get more power in the hands of people who want to, you know, make money in the space.
I love that, man. Because I agree with that. Because in my opinion, I'm like, what isn't manipulated? Just because something is manipulated, don't mean it can't be a benefit. Exactly. You know exactly what you're doing. So when people say that they be like, when people say the stock market is a scam, that never really made sense to me, because I'm like, man, everything got some crazy shit going on behind the scenes that's manipulated.
Because you're trading and buying ownership into companies. Like, these aren't like trillion dollar companies. These aren't like, you know, make believe. You have an iPhone in your hands. You can buy ownership into Apple. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, people will always be people at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? You just got to take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, man, just play the rules, play the game by the rules, man. That's it.
Man, that's hey, man, y'all drop some heavy game. But before I let y'all go, I want y'all to touch on cheat code one more time, just for the people that's listening, so they can know, like, man, what exactly what I'm gonna get from joining this group.
So I mean, damn, what don't you?
Where to start?
What don't you get?
We get so much. We put so much value in. It's not even funny, man. So there's a couple of things that we have, right? We have the cheat code community. Inside the cheat code community, you get access to the algo, right, which is the software. You get classes damn near around the clock. Not just classes for charting, learning how to chart. There's beginner classes, intro classes, mindset classes on Saturday. You know, risk management classes. There's 4 programs: stocks, forex, futures, and crypto. So we teach all 4 because our mission is that, you know, the average person would be able to make money from anywhere, anytime, and any place in the world, right? So if you're overseas in Dubai or something like that, you could trade Forex and futures and crypto. You don't have to just stick to the time schedule of the U.S. And so we teach them how to take advantage of any opportunity, no matter what. And then we basically do live chats. So we have a live chat room, but we also do live trading in all 4 asset classes. So basically you trade live with our team on stocks, on Forex, on futures, and crypto. So we teach you how to fish, and we also fish with you throughout the process. And we give you the fishing pole, being the cheat code and everything like that, and show you how to do it. So it's really a family, man. Everybody's there to like basically hold your hand throughout the process. It's something that we call CERTs, right? Community, education, resources, and tools, and we put them all together to give to you know. And you don't need any prior skill. You know, it's the main thing. Is right now in this economy, you know, with everything that's happening and is about to happen, high value skill sets is going to be more critical than anything you do.
When you say about to happen, what you mean by that?
I'm talking about this recession, depression, stagflation, all that's coming down the pipeline. Y'all better get ready. Y'all better get ready, man, because I mean, in all seriousness,
really though,
it can get really. I mean, if you think back to 2008, those were scary times, but it can get a lot worse than that. You know, just because we haven't experienced worse than it doesn't mean it can't. And with the amount of unprecedented economic changes that's happened over the past 2-3 years, it can get really, really bad. And so you want to make sure that you have a skill set that you can make money no matter what. The market's going to tick no matter what happens.
Right.
You can, whether it's going up, down, or sideways, you can make money in the market from your phone or from your laptop.
Right.
And so you want, the more you invest into skill sets like that equip you to be able to make money, the better it is. And we all know more millionaires than any other time happen during these type of periods.
Right.
And so
100%.
you need to be able to have those skills. The only thing that makes a millionaire is his skill set. I can give Joe Schmo down the street $1 million, and chances are in 5 years he will no longer be a millionaire because of his mindset and the skill set that he has. Right. But you could give another person with a high value skill set. You know what? And even on that note, and I don't mean to ramble on, right? But this is a real critical thing because this is a point in time, the most pivotal point in my life that changed everything for me. I was in prison, and this was in 2012. Sometime 2012, there was a movie that came out called Wall Street Money Never Sleeps.
Yeah.
Right? And it was a storyline about Gordon Gekko and how Gordon Gekko basically was this big billionaire, lost everything, right? Went to prison, lost everything. But in a few years, he came home from prison. He was back at the top of all the big hedge funds and all the big banks on Wall Street, right? And after I watched that movie, I'm sitting on my bunk that night, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, damn, this guy came home from prison. They gave him nothing but like $70 in his shoestrings on his shoes and stuff like that, right? And yet, in a few years, he was able to get back to where he was. Now, granted, he did it in ways that weren't the most ethical, right? But the point being is that I started thinking, if Bill Gates or Warren Buffett got sent to prison today, that like thousands of black men are every single day, right? And they had everything taken away from them. In 2 to 3 years, chances are they're going to be way farther along, if not right back to where they were, right? And what is that? What's the difference between Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and all those people and myself sitting down, right? In the situation I'm in, it's literally just what they know. And even in that same situation, I used to have a lot of older dudes that be like, damn, youngin, man, if I know what I know now, right now, man, at your age, man, I'd be a billionaire. Woo. And I'm like, bro, tell me what's up. Tell me what you know. It's true. It's like the more knowledge you have and the more skill set you have, no matter what, you'll be able, the more you learn, the more you earn. Right. And so,
without a doubt,
that's just something I just got partake. Whether it's this skill set, real estate, whatever your skill set you decide to choose, find a recession-proof skill set that you can make money no matter what, because it's the most critical thing, for your family's success, not even just for yours, but for your family's success. You know what I'm saying?
Ones you love, man, got to put it out on the table. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand just how important that is.
Yeah, and this is my final question for y'all, because y'all looking at the markets every day.
Oh, yeah.
Do y'all think, are we in a recession or are we getting to the recession? Because I believe we're already there.
Yeah, we've been in a recession.
We've been in one.
They just don't want to say it. But
I'm like, why
they trying to change definitions?
They literally change the definition.
Sugarcoat it because they don't want everybody to panic. Because when people start to panic,
it's gonna get crazy.
It's gonna get real crazy. It's gonna look like a zoo.
They started last year, so there's something called the M1 money supply and the M2 money supply, right? M1 money supply, cash and cash equivalents. M2 being like savings, bank accounts, things of that nature. They stopped reporting on the M1 money supply back in sometime last year, where they literally just didn't want to tell you how much cash was actually flowing out because they didn't want people to panic as to how much money they had printed during last year and the year before, right? It was such a massive, unprecedented thing, and that is going to have consequences, repercussions down the line. It's just going to take time for it to really feel the effects because, this economy takes time for these things.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, it's scary stuff, man. I don't know, but I don't mean to be better, Debbie Downer, but you just gotta be prepared.
Nah, man,
there's a lot of
just be realistic.
Yeah, for sure. Anybody out there, you can still do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? The market has been around for over a century. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be around for another century and centuries after that. God knows. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, if you're looking to get into the market, there's a lot of opportunity out there. Just get equipped with the foundation of the education within the market. And then from there, just surround yourself with a community, like Kway said, man. Get the right tools behind you, you know what I'm saying, so you can stand firm, make the right decisions, cut your losers, and just keep it pushing, man.
And get your credit right.
Definitely get your credit right.
That's might be out of left field, but get your credit right.
Those out of left field, for sure.
But listen, get your credit. I can't stress it enough, man, because...
You talking about for the recession or just...
I'm saying
both.
In general, listen, because
access to capital.
It's access to capital. When you have credit and you have business credit, you have something that you can. And I hate to sound like one of them people that just always talk about business credit, but it's like I've learned, you know what I'm saying, over the past year, in my personal experience, if I had focused on my credit and business credit early on, I'd be 10 times farther ahead than I am now. And I'm pretty ahead right now, right?
Yeah.
But I'm ahead with cash, right?
Yeah.
Somebody, you can save, you can qualify for $100,000 in credit faster than you can save $100,000 in cash,
Facts.
right?
We literally just talked about that on my last episode.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
And so
fact.
it's just so critical, you know what I mean? And it's just one of those things that I just don't feel like, people really get enough of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey man, I just want to say salute to y'all, man. Two young black men starting a fintech company
Appreciate
is a
you, man.
big deal, man.
Yeah.
And for the people that's listening, it's some y'all already know some bread in tech, but financial tech is definitely one of our. That's where it's at, man. That's one of our biggest sponsors was a fintech company. So I know firsthand that these fintech companies they get into it for real.
Yeah, you know, we'll talk too. You know what I'm saying? Bringing the fintech people, you know what I'm saying, millionaire mindset. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But before I let y'all go, man, I want y'all to first I want to say I appreciate y'all flying out to get this
man,
done with me.
appreciate you
I feel
having
like
us.
I feel like we gotta do this again, man.
We
This
got
is
to
too
do
much,
it, man.
There's
so much more information.
Yeah, so much
man.
more.
Yeah.
We got to make it happen again, bro.
Absolutely.
But before I let y'all go, plug in all your stuff where people can follow y'all, sign up for cheat code, everything.
For sure. Yeah. Nah, so if you want the cheat code, man, you just want to go to algo, algo.cheatcode.com, cheatcode.com, algo.cheatcode.com to get the cheat code. And then also for socials, you can find the company page, cheatcode.tv, cheatcode.tv, or cheatcode algo at cheatcode algo. My personal is the real Jehu, the real Jehu, and then I got Kway.
Yeah, mine is at Kway.trades, Kway.trades. No extra letters, no underscores, no
them fake pages,
Man,
man, crazy.
Don't.
Especially when you do stocks and trade, that's
Exactly.
how they get them.
Literally,
With
the financial markets, man.
Do not send no Bitcoin,
Don't
no
send
nothing.
nobody nothing. If they hit you up, tell them to video chat you, and you'll know it's not us. I don't know how people be falling for that.
I don't know either,
But anyways,
man. That's a whole
it's a whole nother thing. Yeah, we could do a whole podcast on that.
That's
itself.
alone, right? But that's a fact, man.
Yeah.
But I just want to say again, man, thanks. I appreciate y'all coming out.
Nah,
This was
for
dope. We
real.
definitely going to
Appreciate
get it
you.
again soon, man.
Yeah.
And y'all can follow me on all platforms at the official Xavier Miller and the Millionaire Mindsets podcast on all platforms as well. And this is all I got for this episode of Millionaire Mindsets podcast. See you guys next episode. Peace.
Gotta get your brain right if you're trying to make $1 million. If you ain't gonna do it for yourself, then do it for your mama. Only stay surrounded by them people if you know they solid. Elevate your hustle up today to double up your profit. Trying to learn some game, Xavier gonna talk about it. No Deanna, speak that that everybody vouching. Ain't no more excuses valid. Get up off the couch and get up in your bag. To your bank account, need an accountant.